amanti di libri, and welcome back. I have a problem. That problem involves this. Do you see this? This is my TBR cart. Sure, it's only 2 shelves full and I've positioned the camera so you only see those 2 shelves. But the thing is, this behind me is also my TBR. I only started reading like a couple months ago, so this has become a problem. So my solution to this wonderful financial problem of mine is to read all of the things I've bought, starting with Divine Rivals, which my boyfriend brought me recently. Bless him, love him to bits. Should I be reading this one first? Absolutely not. If we turn this cart around, I have started House of Breath and Sky. I've also started a reread of Pride and Prejudice, because I love Pride and Prejudice. I've also got my Kindle here, which I have started reading 2 books on. Ooh, I'm blurry. Hello. So last night I got to page 36 of Divine Rivals and I'm enjoying it. I've kissed the microphone. I'm so sorry. The world building is a little bit hard to comprehend. I mean, there's this whole backstory about the gods and I don't really know what the fuck is going on there, but we have gods and they are fighting and in making people enlist into their war. That's all I've gathered. The 2 main characters, Iris and Roman, are interacting more. Roman's a little sweetie, but he's also kind of a dickhead. Not very good at speaking, very good at writing. I've gotten to the point where they start sending letters to each other. He knows it's her, she doesn't know it's him. So that's really funny to me. So I'm not gonna spoil what's happening here, but there's a new plot point that has happened and might cause a few issues down the line, but we have to read and find out, obviously. So I'm gonna go read. My boyfriend and I plan to go on a walk, so we'll go on a walk. Anyway, I'll go read, and I'll pop in when I'm done reading for the day, or if I have anything important to say. Hello. I got carried away yesterday. I went and got my nails done, and I read a little more. I'm currently at chapter 13, page 88. I have almost cried reading this book, but I have not. I'm staying strong, but it's quite an emotional book. There's a lot happening. So far, I'm in love with it, and it's just so good. Normally I would binge this book. I would read it in one sitting because I'm that in love with it, but I'm taking my time. I want to savor this feeling. This is definitely gonna be a high 4-star, 5-star read for me, but I just wanna savor it. I honestly do. I'm gonna get back to reading and we'll go from there. day is it today? Today's Sunday. I finished Divine Rivals. I gave the book 5 stars. Let's just cut to the chase here. I gave it 5 stars. Like, it's not a perfect book, but I have not stopped thinking about it, and I finished it yesterday morning before work, and it cuts off because it's like gonna start a next book because there's an epilogue about what happens to Roman at the end. So there needs to be another book. I've moved closer. If you like historical fantasy, I'd call this a historical romantasy because there's a lot of romance plot. If you like historical fiction and fantasy / romantasy, I'd recommend this book to you. I am a big history buff, and I obviously read quite a bit of fantasy. So it's hit all the boxes for me. When I was mid-reading this book, I went to sleep, I was like, Roman, like, the font, that's so funny. And I'm like, that's probably not what Rebecca Ross was thinking when she was writing the book. She probably didn't go, let me name a character after a font, like Undertale did. And I'm like, Iris is a flower, like, that's said in the book, that Iris is a flower. But I'm like, Iris, italics, like, it made no sense in my head. Like, I'd go to sleep, I'd wake up, I was like, I need to read this book. And it wasn't like there was anything happening to prompt me to like want to find out what's going to happen next. I just needed to read about Iris and Roman. That's it. That's the whole thing. No suspense. Nothing. I just needed to know. I am just at a loss. I get like, this book is so good. Like, I could talk about it for ages, but at the same time I don't have the right words to describe the feeling that I'm feeling. And that's what gives the book 5 stars for me, is that I want to talk about the book, but it is so good that I cannot express the right way to say it. The way that Rebecca Ross wrote these characters and their personalities and their development from the start to the end. There's something about it. There is just something about it. It is like, it's like a drug. I don't know. It's like coffee to a caffeine addict. That is probably a better way to say it. I'm gonna go read The Adventures of Amina al-Sirafi now, which is on the back, the blurb. It says, a pirate of infamy. Oh, this is gonna be a tough time for me. A pirate of infamy and one of the most storied and scandalous captains to ever sail the 7 seas, Amina al-Sirafi has survived backstabbing rogues, vengeful merchant princes, several husbands, and one retire peacefully with her family to a life of piety, motherhood, and absolutely nothing that hints of the supernatural. But when she is offered a job no bandit could refuse, she jumps at the chance for one final adventure with her old crew that will make her a legend and secure her family's future forever. How could I say no to that? It's fucking pirates, are you serious? But I'm gonna go read this, probably in the sun. It's a lovely 23-degree day. There'll be updates, obviously. I seriously need to learn how to fucking continue from these. Hello. I started reading this. I'm at page 28. The first kind of phase of this book starts in a storytelling kind of thing, where Amina herself starts telling the story about what happened to get her to like the end of the book point. We're at a conflict 28 pages in, so that's pretty cool. I haven't really formed an opinion yet. I just wanted to say that the start of the book is like a storytelling perspective, which I've never actually read before. Like, that's pretty whack. But I don't hate it. I kind of fuck with it. But I'm currently watching Destiny and I'm looking for charms. Do you guys know how hard it is to find a Map of Sicilia charm? I can't wear fake gold because it irritates my skin. So I'm looking for like a real gold Map of Sicily to wear on a necklace, because I've got a Malocchio and I want another necklace either longer or shorter than this one to put my Monocanotto
Monokonoto. Yeah. To put my Manokonoto on and my charm of the Virgin Mary. And I was thinking maybe I get the map of Sicilia as well. I'll go full wog. Fuck it. My nan, after she passed away, gave me her necklace. This is so off topic for the book. Whatever. And it has all these charms on it. We've got Tutankhamun, the Holy Cross, an S because my nan's name was Sandra, and I'm Steph, so I inherited it, and a horseshoe because she, I don't know, gave into her British ways. I thought I would wogify some jewellery. I'm going to the chiropractor tonight, so I'll bring the book, have a little read in the car, read at the chiro, come home, read some more, do some uni, try and find this fucking charm. It's reading time. It's reading time. Wait, look, I'm like that meme when it's like when people with brown eyes look into the sun. I'm just white. Hello. I just got back from a 3-day holiday in the city with my boyfriend. We hung out with his brother and his partner. I recorded some footage while I was there, so I'll insert that now. I'm on page 124 of The Adventures of Amina al-Sirafi. It's kind of annoying me that we're going in and out of third person and first person perspective. I really would have preferred if she kept it solely acting as a narrator or solely being a fantasy book where it's a first person experience and you're experiencing all the same things at the same time with somebody. Because she'll interject at some time as herself, retelling a story to someone and be like, oh yeah, by the way, I don't give a shit. Like, I just feel like it's done too much but also not enough at the same time. I'll forget that it's there. I'll forget that she's narrating her own story and then all of a sudden there'll be brackets or italics where she's talking to the person she's talking to. And I'm just like, okay. But while I was in the city, I succumbed. I bought a book, which is not what you're meant to do when you're trying to read through a physical TBR. I also brought this bookmark. Oh my god, do you like my bookmark? I don't even know if that was in focus. This bookmark cost me $7. It's better be the best bookmark of all time. It is an Aries bookmark. It feels like absolute fucking garbage, so I'm glad that I paid $7 for this. But it's just my star sign. This elastic, supposedly, what you're meant to do is you put the bookmark in the book and then you use the elastic around the book, like this. I don't know how often I'll be doing that. I don't think I'll be doing that very often at all. I just need another bookmark. It's really the only reason I did it. I've been looking for this book near where I live, a physical copy of it so I can enjoy it in my hands, but nowhere stocks it. So I had to go to Dimmicks in the city. I'll go back to reading this. I'm at a good point in the book. Like I'm starting to get into it. Divine Rivals really did put me into a slump like I predicted it would. But I'm starting to get involved into the story. We're pirating. It's all happening. Hello. I'm 71% of the way through The Adventures of Amina al-Sirafi. There's this much left and we've only just hit the main climax. Like there was a minor climax before this that kind of sets up the big climax. But I feel like I wasted a lot of time reading to get to this point, which sucks because I really anticipated this book. Like this was one of my most anticipated reads of the year. So I'm kind of bummed. I don't feel great, but sometimes that's just how books are. So I'm just gonna finish it, kind of leaning towards a 3-4 star. Because it's not shit. It's not a shit book. Like I'm enjoying the bits that I'm enjoying, but I do feel like it is a chore to read. I'll finish reading and we will come to a conclusion. just finished The Adventures of Amina al-Sirafi. I gave the book 3 stars on Goodreads, mainly because I won't exactly remember these characters until the next book comes out, if I'm completely honest. The conflict happened in the last 70 pages, and within those 70 pages of the conflict, I just felt like it was rushed. The end of it kind of loops back into the start of it. The start of the book starts with like storytelling, and the end ends with how we get to the storytelling. So I like that it's like a full circle moment. The characters are likable, they have a lot of backstory to them, that it's very diverse, which is great, but it just needed more. I think the development was too short and too quick, considering the book is 400 and something pages. Besides that, I felt like it was a chore to read through a chunk of this book. Once I got to the last 70 pages, I literally just finished it in like a couple hours, but it took me like 2 weeks to read this book. I'm not like a fast reader by any means, but when I read Divine Rivals, it took me a week, maybe just under. This took me 2 weeks. I think that says enough. Which sucks, because this was one of my most anticipated reads of the year, and I was really, really looking forward to reading this book. I paid $30 for this book, and it let me down. It let me down. I'm not disappointed per se, but I just wish that there was more. I assume this is just a setup book to the next book on how it ended. So maybe it's just like a first book sort of series feeling. It's like sometimes when you go to read a series, the first book is never really a 5-star. It never really gets you, because it's a lot of world building. I felt like the traveling in the book on the boats was a little confusing, because there's a map, right? There's a map in the book, but I feel like the distance described is further than what is depicted in the book. And I understand that sailing takes a long time, but I feel like a lot of time was spent on the boat. Not that it was unrealistic to how boats work. I think that was mainly it. But it's done. I can put it away and work on the rest of this. It is what it is. And arrivederci.